time of month for us is Black History Month. And trust me, we get so excited because we have this huge event each and every year, Pam. This is the 7th year that we're doing this. It's called Salute the Champions. But A-Town's going to kick it off for us right now. Let's go.
Black History Month is an integral part of our nation's tradition, in which we continue to recognize and promote positive, impactful individuals. The Sports Shop with Reese and K-Mac, Salute to Champions, would like to recognize this individual for their contribution.
Oh, man, we're so excited for this. We have 9 individuals this year. This is our first interview for this particular class.
Yes.
Again, and we're going to have a big, huge luncheon on the 21st of February. Actress Lauren E. Banks is going to be our keynote, man, and she's talented. But we got another talented guy in the room, a guy that I've known, I think 30 years, maybe more than that.
Wow.
But I got to bow down to him because when he sent me his bio the other day, Pam, I'm like, I got to start looking at him a little different. You know how you know people for a long time, you treat them like they cool,
exactly.
they regular. No,
but you don't really know who they are.
You really don't know this dude. I'm like, he ain't regular. I'm talking about he is the president of the Lenovo Foundation, Chief Diversity Officer, and VP of Human Resources for Lenovo. Are you kidding me? Welcome to the Sports Shop. Salute the champion, Calvin Crosslin. What's up, Calvin? How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, great to be here. I'm honored and humble. That's the first time that you said regular, and it was a different context.
But you know what's cool about this is that we recognize people who have done well in their own right, but more importantly, have influenced others to do the same. So, and you're a part of this class, man, and we're so happy to have you part of it. So let me ask you this question. I know you were at IBM now, Lenovo. Were you always into human resources? How did all that develop?
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah, for the most part, I was hired into IBM in the mailroom. Interestingly enough,
Yep.
And at the time, they had these opportunities to listen to different career progressions, and so I went to one seminar with the head of sales, and I thought I'd want to go down that path.
Mm-hmm.
I met another gentleman who was the director of HR, and he pulled me to the side at one point, had a marketing degree, and said he could use my help in HR to market some of our internal programs externally.
Wow.
So that's how I got into HR, and then just stayed there for 25 years. But he was a great mentor, a father figure, so it wasn't difficult to go follow in his footsteps. So to speak.
That's fantastic. That's
awesome.
fantastic.
We're excited. We're talking to Calvin Crosslin, who is our first one that we're actually interviewing of this year's 2024 Salute the Champions. One thing that we know that you're very passionate about is diversity and inclusion, and now diversity, equity, and inclusion. Talk to us about why that is so important and why you're so passionate about it.
Yeah, I think it's a competitive advantage for business. You know, if you think about, Lenovo, an example, we have 70,000 employees. We operate in 180 markets. You've got every different culture from language to country, ethnicity, sexual orientation, varying abilities. And so you want to have a workforce that is inclusive, right? And I think you can also use the word innovation, perhaps, with the word inclusion, right? Because you're getting the best from all of your employees.
Awesome.
We're gonna jump around a lot, so
that's cool.
You know.
I got ADHD. We can do that.
Actually, you do.
Wow.
But one of the things, I'm looking on here, just going way back, man. I mean, you've been recognized in numerous athletic achievements, including your senior high school Hall of Fame. So I didn't make my high school Hall of Fame, but I made my college Hall of Fame. So from one Hall of Fame to the other Hall of Fame, what's up? Talk about though, but you are a former track athlete, and talk about that whole experience. And you the first person I ever met from the University of Texas El Paso. So talk about how that happened.
Yeah, so I am in the Hall of Fame for my county as well as my high school.
Okay.
I was a pretty good track and field athlete. I did a variety of events, and so I was recruited to go to UTEP as a decathlete.
Really?
Because I was good at so many different events. Now, the first time I saw a college pole vaulter.
When Bruce Jenner decathlete?
Yes, he was. He was amazing. decathlete.
Okay, I'm just asking that.
He knows everything.
He was an amazing decathlete. Yes,
was
he
Bruce
was.
and Dave. You know they had those commercials.
I do.
You know they had those, Bruce and Dave had those commercials. Anyway,
And everybody wanted to be like them.
right. See, I know this guy. I didn't know that's what you did. But talk about that. Yeah.
Well, I was recruited to do that until I got there and realized what a college pole vaulter looked like, and that kind of ended that. So I continued to be I was a hurdling and long jump was my specialty.
Okay.
But I could do just about anything from the 800 meters on down, high jump, different field events. So I still competed in a variety of events. I just never became a full decathlete.
What I get to ask this question a lot too. What that experience of being an athlete and playing at that level, competing at the level. What did you take from that to somewhat into your business, life and that kind of thing? Talk about that.
It's a great question because, as you know, it's an individual sport, but it's also a team sport.
Sure.
So, the things that you do to prepare, if you don't prepare well, the only person you're embarrassing out on that track oftentimes is yourself.
Right.
But when you're in major meets where you're trying to gain points, there are times that your coach will come and ask you to run events perhaps that are not part of your specialty.
Right.
And so that becomes a team component. Are you willing to perhaps go out there and maybe not perform as well as you could in an event that's not your event in the interest of seeing the team win an overall championship?
That's powerful. That's
so
powerful.
you learn to be a team player, but you always also are an individual contributor to the point. Like I said, you either shine or not based on your own work ethic.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. We're talking to Calvin Crosslin, president of Lenovo Foundation. He is one of the recipients of the 2024 Salute the Champions. So as you reflect on going from the mailroom to the president of Lenovo, but you're also Lenovo, but you're also involved in a lot of nonprofit organizations. You sit on a lot of board, things like that. So what is your, I would say, defining moment when you just have to reflect on all that's happened? I would say, what God has done for you and when you to be right here. What is your defining moment?
Well, you said what God has done for me, and it's putting people in my life, right? There are people that saw things in me way before I saw those things, right? Reese being one of them. Took me under the wing very early.
True story.
Yeah, Reese, Cecil Holler, some two frat brothers that now live in Charlotte, Steve Jarrett and Ron Matthews.
Yeah, Steve
guys
Jarrett.
That would pull me in the office and tell me, sit down. They, you're a young guy. Sometimes are not on your best behavior. They pull you in the office and say, we see some things maybe you don't see and you need to act accordingly. But I think having people in my life that saw more in me than I saw in myself and having a responsibility and good role models about what it's like to give back or pay forward, right? Everybody who's helped me in my career or in life has never said, when you say, hey, what can I do for you? No one has ever answered that question with what I could do for them. It's always, you can't do anything for me. I need you to pay this forward. And so every good mentor, every good sponsor I've had has said that. And it's actually fun to watch, to develop other people, to see them grow in their career or grow whatever it is they want to do, sports, career, parenting. Right. It's good to see people grow into those roles. So, it's very fulfilling, very rewarding.
We're talking to Calvin Crosslin, who's rocking in the 7th annual Salute the Champions class 2024. What are some of your passions, man? I know you have a lot. I mean, Lenovo is great and all that, but I know you have passions outside of that. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, some of the nonprofit boards for sure. That's my way of, like I said, paying forward, particularly to underrepresented communities that don't have the same access to STEM education or STEM access. We talked about the heart ball just a moment ago. So things like that, health equity, the disparities we see in the healthcare system. And then in my personal life, my kids are, my world. So everything from live music, which brings us together. My son and I race motorcycles together, so the family does a lot around racing. So it's a lot of family-oriented activities of common themes that we enjoy.
Awesome. Well, it's Black History Month. And so what does Black History mean to you, and who has inspired you the most?
Oh, man, that's a great question. First of all, it should be more than a month. We got a whole nother show. We have to talk about that.
And they gave the shortest month in the whole year. So, there you go.
Yeah, Black history really is American history, right? I mean, so many contributions, right? So what does it mean to me? It is an opportunity, though, to pause and think about some of the great contributions that Black Americans have made to this country. Right. Most important to me, there's so many folks, but I have to say one of the most important is probably my grandfather that raised me, also a Kappa. Anupi, if you will. So look at these Faraz out there going crazy with the wrong colors on out there. But one of the most brilliant human beings I've ever had the pleasure of being around, and not only incredibly brilliant, but a keen sense of humor, very down to earth, and so just somebody that I always wanted to emulate. Now, I couldn't be a physician. I can't stand the sight of blood, so we had to go figure out something else to be successful at.
If you had to leave us with one quote or just one statement, like we ask everyone this, what would it be? Put people on the spot.
Yeah, it's not something I can recite because it's too long, but it's "Man in the Arena" is one of my favorite poems, right?
Okay.
It's not the critic that counts, so you have to